Okay, now this is the fourth. Now this is the fourth session. I want to hide Nanu. Okay. Now this is the fourth session. There are two sections. In the first section, we are going to talk about the typical food in our region. There are subtopics: name and describe popular dishes, foods in your region. What are some of the ingredients? When do people eat your national food? Is it cheap or expensive to make? Is it healthy or unhealthy? What do people drink with your national food? What is your favorite food? How is your favorite dish prepared? And what do you usually eat? These are the topics of our conversation today. Now I am going to start from me. India is known as cultural and foodie country. There are 29 states in India, and each of them has famous dishes when it comes to food. There is a wide range of cuisine in the nation, which pampers the taste buds and impresses everyone. No matter in which state you are, you will surely love the regional cuisine. Indian food, not unlike any other country's national food scene, is a vast constellation of culinary influences and traditions from all over the ancient continent. Traditional Indian food is built from the same flavor foundations. However, dishes vary widely between North Indian and South Indian cuisine. They all are healthy dishes. Now, here are some popular or famous dishes in India. Sarson ka saag and makke ki roti is a famous dish of Punjab. Then this is dal bati. It is most popular in Rajasthan. These are called chirotes. Chirote is famous sweet dish of Karnataka. This is kadhi pakoda. Kadhi pakoda is the popular dish in Haryana, while corn kheer means bhutte ki kheer is famous in Madhya Pradesh. And this is dokla. Dokla is a special Gujaratian food. In this way, there are different dishes according to the different states. But there are some common ingredients and flavors in Indian cuisine. They are, look here, this is called cumin seeds. This is cardamom, garam masala, turmeric. In our regional language, we called it haldi. Then coriander, mustard seeds, fresh curry leaves. This is tamarind, chaat masala, ajwain, we called it ova, fennel seeds, then fenugreek, Indian bay leaves, asafoetida, dried chilies, and star anise. These are the common ingredients that we usually use in our foods. Look here, there are some popular drinks and beverages of India, just like lassi, masala chai, chach. This is thandai. This is kokum sarbat, favorite in Konkan region. It is used on acidity. Then feni, famous in Gujarat, in Goa. And this is faluda. These are the most popular drinks and beverages of India. Then my favorite food is puran poli. And it is an easy recipe of flat bread stuffed with a sweet lentil filling made from chana dal and sugar. You can use Bengal gram and jaggery too. Instead of sugar, you can use jaggery too. In Marathi language, the sweet filling is called puran. That filling or that stuff is called puran, and the outer bread is the poli. It is delicious side dish with rich flavors, yet extremely easy and quick to make. Loved by all age groups. You can even pack this dish for tiffin. Now I'm going to show you how to make this. Look here, there is a video. I will show you within some minutes. Look here. First of all, take water. Then take chana dal, turmeric powder, salt. Add 3 cups of water. Put 1 tablespoon of oil and take 5 whistles. Then after that, drain off the water and put that water aside to make curry from it. Then wheat flour, maida, turmeric powder, salt. Then you have to mix it well. Put water and knead dough. Add water as required and knead it soft. Then this is the outer covering. Keep it aside for 30 minutes. Then this is cooked chana dal, jaggery, and we have to mix it well or putting on the gas. Then jaggery melts. We have to mash it well. When it thickens and takes shape, that is the perfect texture. Cardamom and nutmeg powder we have to add for it for the sweet smell. Then we have to press and pass it through the sieve. In this way, the stuff is ready. Stuffing. Now look how to make Puran Poli. Now I'm going to show you the next procedure of making Puran Poli. See here. Now she's taking that stuff or that Puran, which we saw in the first video. Now we have to put it on those flat breads. See the procedure. We have to roast it on this earthen pot. Now see the procedure, how she makes it. In this way, she gives its shape. It is not easy for everyone to make in this way. It needs a lot of skill. After some time, she will turn it upside down. And in this way, she turns it upside down. Now she is folding that Puran Poli. In our regional language in Marathi, we call manda. We call it manda. And we eat this manda or Puran Poli with mango juice. Some people eat this Puran Poli with milk. Some with kheer. Kheer is made up of rice and milk.
Dear ma'am,
yes, sir.
Can you mute Mustafa Kamal sir?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
It's okay?
It's okay now.
That was my favorite dish, Puran Poli. We eat that Puran Poli with mango juice. Some people eat that Puran Poli with ghee, deshi ghee we called it. Some people eat that with milk. And we also make kheer using rice and milk, and we eat that with that puran poli. Along with that puran poli, we also make onion fritters. Then we call it kurdai. We fry that in oil. Then we make curry rice with that dish. Okay, it's okay now. Now, but we eat that puran poli only on the occasion of festivals or birthdays because it takes a lot of time. And usually I eat this type of food: chapati, any type of vegetable, sakharamba, dal rice, dal, cucumber raita, and pickle. This is my everyday meal. Now this is all from my side. Now I am going to make Saili ma'am host. Okay. Saili ma'am, yes, unmute yourself. Saili ma'am, unmute yourself.
Hello.
Okay, okay. Now it's okay. Okay.
Can I share my screen?
Yes.
Share screen. Madam, can you see my screen?
No, not it.
Screen दिसत नाही त्यांना. Screen is not visible, madam.
No, not visible, ma'am. Share the screen.
Screen share केलाय मी. Select window मध्ये download मध्ये जातो. Now, ma'am. Hello.
Yes. Yes. Now we can see.
Thank you, madam. So today's subtopics. The name of my popular dish is, of course, the same Vidya ma'am described now just puran poli, and this is mango juice. She said this is kurdai. These are fritters, onion fritters, and green chili fritters. This is curry, which the water which was drained out of chana dal, and that by adding spices, this curry is prepared with that water, which is very tasty. And this is of course rice. This is my favorite dish, but it is eaten only for specific festivals like Holi or Akshay Tritiya or pola, pongal, because it is a sweet dish, and it one puran poli consists 291 calories. So one, if we eat one puran poli, it increases our weight. So it is not good to eat every day this puran poli. It's a heavy food. Proteins are there, 12% protein and 14% carbohydrates we get from one puran poli, and 24% fibers. So on the special occasions only we eat this heavy food, and if we wish we can avoid the evening, or we can skip the evening meal if we have eaten puran poli in the afternoon, so that it doesn't cause weight increase. This is how ma'am showed in the video how manda, means this is a puran poli is called manda in our region, and in the same way as showed in the video by Vidya ma'am, this is the procedure of making a dough. And after dough, this is the earthen pot. On earthen pot, this is prepared, particularly on chula. It is soft. It is very soft to eat, and if it is eaten with mango juice, then it increases the taste of our meal. So in mango juice, we get advantages in this summer vacation. Mango juice keeps us healthy. Mango juice helps us to prevent from anemia. Mango is very good for eyes. It strengthens our bones. It maintains the blood pressure and cholesterol too. It helps in digestion, and it also helps to get the glowing skin, and it is very useful for the pregnant women too. So, but only it contains the natural sugar. So for diabetic patients, it is not advised to eat too much mangoes or mango juice. So diabetic patients should avoid eating mangoes in great extent. So this is also food, typically regular food we eat with rice and different curries, and bhakri, that is called of jowar, or bajra, rotla somewhere it is called chapatis particularly, or different kinds of chutneys are there to taste, sour and sweet, or spicy chutney, or curd is there, or matha is there. This is Shrikanda Puri. And to make our food more nutritious, we can add leafy veggies, one of the leafy veggies, and one of the we can say
Fruit vegetable.
fruit veggies, or you can say mung, or like this sprouted food, so that proteins are great extent we receive from eating these sprouted seeds or sprouted food. So to make puris more hygiene, or more what we say,
Tasty.
more tasty and good for health, that is nutritious, more nutritious, we can add beetroot. So it changes into red color. You can see that if we have time, then we can in this way decorate the puris like this. In different shapes we can make them. If children are there in home, if children are there in the home, they can enjoy eating puris, colorful puris, or different shaped puris. With this meal, This is also food daily used by mostly middle class people or poor people eat generally bhakri uh, uh, and leafy or any veggie and salad daily. Sometimes added with dal and rice. And these are, as ma'am said, in Rajasthan, dal bati is very famous. This is also bati. In Maharashtra too, we prepare dal bati with rice. This is pickle. This is raw mango pickle. In these days, means in summer vacations, we prepare it for the whole year. And which is also not good to eat every day, because it is very salty. As to preserve it for a year, we add salt in great quantity and spices. That's why it is not advised to eat pickle every day, but we can sometimes add it in our lunch or dinner. This is also khakra. This is nutritious because it is prepared without using even a drop of oil or ghee. So it is very crispy, and whole wheat flour we can use for preparing it. And nowadays it is available in different tastes, like pav bhaji flavor, or we can say green fenugreek flavor, or spinach flavor, spices flavor. This is available in different kinds of flavors nowadays. So this is also good to eat. Khakra is also good to eat. Those who want to lose their weight, they eat khakra. And if we go to the South India, there are rasams in large quantity, liquid curries, and are served in every meal. So these rasams are very tasty to eat. Once we went to Hyderabad and Bangalore at that time, our 4 members, when we finished our lunch at that time, these were the you can see the ladder of bowls of all our 4 members utilized in dinner at Bangalore when we went to Bangalore. So rasam is having thiamine, folic acid, vitamin A, vitamin C, and niacin, along with minerals. Minerals such as potassium, iron, calcium, zinc, selenium, copper, and magnesium. So it's very good. It tests our taste buds. It treats our taste buds. So this is also considered as one of the balanced food diets. With our food, we drink this lassi. If it is added with sugar, then again it is not advised for the weight loss. So if it is added only with black salt, then it is good for the health. But lassi generally a sweet in taste, and it has also different kinds of flavors. This is turmeric lassi, but it is sweet. Generally, in this COVID-19 situation, every night we drink turmeric milk, which is not sweet. But if somebody wants, he or she can add sugar in it. This is mango lassi. Mango lassi is again sweet, added with curd, yogurt. This is how the bhakri is prepared, jawar bhakri. It is better than wheat flour chapati. Why? Because it doesn't consist gluten, and two chapatis of 6 inches have 76 calories. but one jawar bhakri consists only 41 calories. Jawar is also called by various names across India as jawar, jola, zundhala, and bhakri, and roasted
Dadra.
bhakri. Bhakri or
Dadra.
dadar. Shalu is also in Solapur region. It is called shalu. So jaloda, roti is called jaloda, and sorghum. Its name is sorghum. It belongs to sorghum vulgare family.
Running out of time.
It is very jawar is very good. It is the best atta for weight loss, and it is the best alternative for the wheat roti. And nutrients exist in jawar are protein, dietary fiber, calcium, iron, phosphorus, B vitamin, C vitamin, and it helps to regulate our blood sugar level. So diabetic patients are advised to eat jawar food. It controls appetite, it promotes weight loss, and it at the same time it boosts the energy level. That's why it is advised to eat jawar bhakri. This is how on Chulla in the villages. This is the home of my sister-in-law. It is in the farm, and there I prepared bhakris on Chulla. In the vacations, twice we go to her home in Diwali and in summer vacations, because it is on the way to my maternal place. That village is on the way to my maternal place. But we family are very foodie and very much interested in tasting different kinds of variety of foods, not only of Maharashtra but also of the world. So when we went to Egypt, we tasted these kinds of foods. Wherever we go, we surely eat the local food without fail. So from my side, this was all about our food, and especially in India doesn't having a particular national food or national drink, because India is very much famous for its diverse unity community. So many community unity in diversity is there. So in this diverse community, people are having different kinds of cultural festivals, languages, and fashions, and everything. As I told in the first session, there are different kinds of classical dance forms in the particular region. In the same way, different kinds of costumes. In the same way, different kinds of foods are there in India. But it is each and every kind of food in each region is very tasty, and it has a very special kind of flavor. One should taste wherever you will go in Uttar Pradesh or Bihar or in New Delhi or at the south or in the Maharashtra. One should surely at least once taste the local food of that particular region or particular place. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Now make Doha sir host, ma'am.
Okay.
Make Kamal sir host now, ma'am.
Okay. Kamal sir, unmute yourself. Kamal sir, unmute yourself. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Today I was too much busy to attend a Zoom meeting with our Secretary General of Minister of MOPMI and our Minister of MOPMI and Director General of MOPMI. This meeting was held in 3 p.m., but it was collated. It started at 8 p.m. And still now
Okay.
this meeting is going on.
Going on.
But I leave this meeting and joined with you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And today I joined with my laptop with you, and you see this. And my laptop, you know that are not working well, but today it's working well by an engineer. And today I prepared a PPT to share with you, but in shortage of time I could not prepare well, and inshallah I think another day I will prepare better than today.
It's okay.
Welcome to my presentation.
Yes, sir.
Name of popular dishes and foods in my region: rice and fish, our national foods, and all over the Bangladesh. Rice and fish are eaten all over the Bangladesh. Vegetables, meat, beef, chicken, etc. Many kind of dal, many kind of fast food are eaten in city area. In our country, tribal group have their traditional foods. In our country lives many kinds of tribal group: Garo, Hajong, Chakma, and their traditional foods like as bamboo chicken and soap. And many kinds of fruits are eaten here, such as jackfruits, mango, banana, lychee, watermelon, etc. And in our country, celebrated many occasions such as Paila Boishakh, Nabanna Utsav. Nabanna Utsav means it's Bengali month Agrahayan, and English in December, when our farmers cutting their paddy, and after finishing cutting paddy, they celebrated a Utsav, and this is called Nabanna Utsav. This time people make many kinds of pitha, cake, and all of our national foods are healthy, tasty, and useful for health, but all fast foods are harmful for health. You see some pictures, fishes. First one is Hilsa. It is our national fish, you know that, and it is very tasty, and it eaten not only on Bangladesh, it also eaten in India, especially Calcutta. And this fish name is Bengali boal. It's also a delicious fish. And here is katla and rui and many other fishes.
Sir, we can't see your screen. Show us
You showed me?
dishes. We can't see your screen.
But why?
Share your screen. Yes.
Now you can see my screen.
Desktop only. Yes, sir.
Now you see. Now you can see.
Yes.
I describe it. It's a hilsa fish. It's boal. It's katla, and it's rui and another fishes. You know that. And these are traditional pithas. That's called cake.
Yes. Sir, we
You-
called it karanji. We
you
also,
know that?
yes, we also make this type of food. We call it karanji. Same.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So today it's our fourth session, which is about typical foods. Some popular dishes, ingredients, national food. Some popular dishes and ingredients in Bangladesh. Rice is the main food in Bangladesh. You know, rice, fish,
Okay.
vegetable curry, and lentil is the most common traditional Bangladeshi food for general people. Actually, we eat rice and fish regularly, not only rich people, but also all over the world. Every people uh, like to eat rice and fish.
Fish.
Bangladesh is also famous for its desserts. You will find dozens of sweets. We are fond of sweets. Rice cakes, rice puddings, and many other desserts in Bangladesh, mostly made from rice and cow milk. You can see these are sweets, different kinds of sweets. But I don't like so much. I just taste, but never take so much.
Sweet you don't like, I think. Sweet items.
Yeah, ma'am. I like a little bit spicy.
Hmm.
These are ingredients. I think these all are common in India and Bangladesh. I think so.
Spices.
Yeah.
Spices.
Yeah, spices. Sorry.
Hmm.
You can see these all are common. That's why I'm not going to tell details about
Yeah.
it because it's
Yes.
common.
Yes, we know it all.
Vidya
And-
ma'am has said.
Yeah. Now you can see our national foods.
Fish fry.
Hilsha. It's called in Hilsha. It's
Ilish.
called Ilish in Bengali. We call it Ilish.
Okay.
It's national dish of Bangladesh, made
Okay.
from the Hilsha fish, and is one of the most popular traditional Bangladeshi dishes. And
Means it is the name of fish, sir. Hilsa is a fish.
yeah, ma'am. It's fish.
Kind of fish.
Hilsha.
Okay.
Okay.
There are a few occasions when we eat special food, such as the biggest festival for the Muslim, you know, Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. In Eid al-Fitr, we eat a lot of sweets. In Eid al-Fitr, the food item is mostly made by sweet.
Sir, is it shir kurma
Yeah.
in the middle picture?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. There are
And that is
different kinds of we
Shir
call it
kurma.
shemai. We call it shemai.
Shemai.
Yeah. It can be liquid. It can be dry. Different
Yes.
types of. It is,
We call shira. It is dry is called shira and liquid is called sevai kheer.
No, ma'am, it is
Kheer.
shir kurma.
Shir kurma.
yeah, ma'am. Yeah. Especially in Eid al-Fitr, we eat this food.
Yes.
Sir, some of my friends call us on Eid and they serve us with
Yes.
shirkurma.
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am.
We like it very much.
We distribute this food to others, and you see a lot of sweets here, different kinds of sweets. You will see lot of sweets in Eid al-Fitr.
Yes. The same way we make lot of sweets on Diwali occasion.
Diwali.
Yeah, same I think. And the other occasion is Eid al-Azha. In this occasion, you will see all kinds of spicy food. You see,
Sir, I haven't learned this word, Haja, Eid ul Haja. I am listening it first time.
First, I too.
Eid, we call it
We know
Azha.
two types of Eid, sir. Eid ul Fitr and Bakri Eid we call. The other is Bakri Eid.
Eid-e Milad. Eid-e Milad.
If
Eid-e Milad.
now you see this word Eidul Adha, that is in
Uh-huh.
Bengali Ajha.
Okay.
You know, when the cows are sacrificed in this occasion, occasion of Eidul Adha, in this occasion. So in this occasion, you will see the food made by cow or goat or sheep.
Or buffalo.
Buffalo, yeah. It's mainly you will see main foods are spicy, which is different kinds of meats. In this, the fried liver of the animal is used as breakfast, and different dishes include different varieties of kebabs. You know kebabs, it boneless meat
boneless.
that has been mashed and fried or roasted. Halim, you know halim, I think.
No.
No.
Oh, and korma and other. You will see this type of food in
Not.
Ajha.
Means,
Yes, sir. Kamal, sir.
okay, sir. Now, okay, sir. You can continue.
Okay, thank you, sir. You can see some picture of foods here. All are made of meat, different kind of meat. And this is when we celebrate our, Pahela Boishakh, the first month of the Bengali New Year.
Okay.
We celebrate Pahela Boishakh and in Pahela Boishakh, the day start with Panta Bhat. You know Panta?
No.
No.
Meaning?
It is one kind of rice which is soaked with water and water at night, and after that night, in the morning you will you eat it with salt, fish fry, and we call it bharta. I don't know what is it called in India. Different kind of bharta from potatoes. You know bharta.
And what is there in the middle dish, sir? It looks like mango juice.
No.
Dal.
It's
dal.
dal.
No.
In middle, it's dal.
Dal.
Ma'am, sorry. I think my slide is looking not in order. I think these are our national food. You can see rice, dal, and vegetables. These are our national foods.
Okay.
I missed the heading. And these are the food I talked about in Pahela Boishakh. Pahela Boishakh is the first day of the Bengali New Year, and we celebrated it with eating in the morning with panta bhat, with different kind of bharta, fish fry. You can see in the picture. it also celebrated in India, in Kolkata, I think West Bengal, because
Okay.
they are also talk in Bengali, you know that. You can see Panta Bhat in the first picture. Panta Bhat is a rice-based dish prepared by soaking rice, generally laid over in water overnight. Traditionally served in the morning with salt, onion, chili, and Bengali style mashed potatoes or aloo. That's I said that bharta, ma'am. You
Sir,
can,
that
uh,
bhat word we use in Marathi also. In our regional language, we called it bhat.
yeah,
Bhat,
BHAT
bhat.
bhat.
Yes,
yes, we call
yes,
it
ma'am.
bhat in Bengali.
Bhat
Hmm.
with water. Pantabat means the bhat with water, and this
Yes.
water
Yeah,
filled in night, and we eat after day.
Okay.
Okay.
and you, ma'am, you can see in the last picture, I called it bharta. We call it bharta in Bangladesh. I don't know what in India you are called.
What is that, sir?
It's ma'am. It's firstly fried fishes or
Okay.
any other ingredients, and then it's mixed with onion and
Salt,
Chilies.
chili. Okay.
chilies,
You means you
and
smash that
one
fish
kind
and
of
make.
smash. Yes.
Okay.
Uh, this is you will see only in Pohela Boishakh. And our national drinks, mainly tea, and you know, tea is famous all over the world, I think. So here also we take tea. Some people who take tea with some light snacks as breakfast. So different kind of tea, black tea, normal tea, and tea with
Green tea.
green tea,
Green tea.
tea with uh, you know,
Milk.
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 Sorry, tea with milk. Mainly in a shop you will see uh, tea with milk and black tea.
Okay.
We take lassi also. Lassi is also popular and traditional,
In Bangladesh.
milk based in Bangladesh. You know the process. Lassi is a blend of yogurt, butters, spices, and sometimes fruit. Lassis are enjoyed
Dry
chilled
fruits.
as a hot weather refreshment. When weather looking very hot, we take it, and I think it can give so much pleasure, I think. And this is my favorite dish, which is called khichuri.
Khichdi. Yeah, we
My
call it khichdi.
Yeah,
Ours is
mine too.
also a favorite dish.
I
Khichdi.
Yes.
I like it very much from my college life. You know, when I uh, study in college, I have to cook myself, and
Okay.
and always I cook khichuri.
Easy
Khichuri,
to cook.
it is very easy to cook,
Yes.
Healthy.
and
If you visit Bangladesh, and then our Joa sir will prepare this khichuri, and we eat
Yes,
Okay.
sure,
very
sure.
Thank you.
nicely.
Thank you.
no problem, sir. If you talk about other food, maybe I will be confused. But if you talk about khichuri, definitely
Surely.
I can
Mm.
make it.
Okay.
Khichdi
Okay.
is a dish in South Asian cuisine made of rice, lentils, and but other variations also include pasda, mung dal, khichdi, and Indian culture in several regions, especially in the northern areas. It is considered one of the first solid foods that babies eat. And it is very healthy food.
Yes.
Khichdi, there are different kinds of khichdi, such as vegetables, meat. I like vegetable khichdi with fry egg omelette, you know.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, omelette. Please serve us khichdi with fried fish, okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, okay.
And that after that, the topic was, is it cheap or expensive? This is actually not so expensive. It is cheap and healthy also.
Yes. We can make it healthy by adding different kinds of veggies,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
flavors,
It
spices.
it depends on one's flavor, one's taste.
Yeah.
Sir, what about biryani? What
Uh,
about biryani?
Biryani also is favorite here and popular also. My daughter love it too much. If you
Yeah,
Okay.
we also love it.
if you give her 3 times a day or 4 times a day, she will never bore. She like it so much.
We thought that today
Me
you will
too.
serve with biryani, but you forgot.
Yeah,
But it's not for health.
yeah, but it's not good for health and it's
Online service.
little bit expensive also.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's all, ma'am. I told you before that I was not actually well prepared today. I'm sorry for that. And
Very nicely presented, sir. Very nice.
thank you so much, ma'am.
Nice
So
one.
now whose turn now? Is it Vidya, ma'am?
No, now Saili ma'am is going to tell us the objectives
Okay, ma'am. Okay, I'm going to make
Okay.
her host.
of zero hunger.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Now you are host. You can present your presentation.
Okay. Can you see my slide,
Yes, ma'am.
madam, sir?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, ma'am. We see.
yeah, okay. So about zero hunger, these are the objectives. To end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. This is the main objective of zero hunger. Hunger is the leading cause of death in the world. Our planet has provided us with tremendous resources, but unequal access and inefficient handling leaves. Sorry, are you audible?
yes, yes.
yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
Huh. So, our planet has provided us with tremendous resources, but unequal access and insufficient handling leaves millions of people malnourished. So, this hunger problem has arose in the world. Who started zero hunger? The Zero Hunger Challenge was launched by United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon in 2012. The Zero Hunger vision reflects 5 elements from within the SDGs, which taken together can end hunger, eliminate all forms of malnutrition, and build inclusive and sustainable food systems. Targets of hunger, targets of zero hunger, the sustainable development goals aim to end all forms of hunger and malnutrition by 2030, making sure all people, especially children, have sufficient and nutritious food all year. This involves promoting sustainable agricultural, supporting small scale farmers, and equal access to land, equal access to technology and markets. Thank you.
Okay.
Whom shall I make host now, ma'am?
Make Vidya ma'am host. Make me host. Ma'am, what about the goals, objectives, parameters?
Objectives and goals are the same, no? I think so.
Parameters were there. Okay, now make me host.
Okay, if you have, then you can tell us.
I haven't prepared for that. Okay.
Vidya ma'am,
Yes, make me host. Okay.
last time I told you some of my friend want to join our session just to see us, just to
Yes.
observe us. Can I?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am.
Yes, you can ask her.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Now, shall I start, sir, now? Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now see. Can you see my screen? Hello? Nine.
No, ma'am. No.
No.
Okay. I will show you. Can you see now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Now, Saili ma'am has told us about objectives, targets, and indicators. Now we are going to see the current status of zero hunger in the world and then in India. Now, what is the aim of zero hunger? Zero hunger pledges to end hunger, achieve food security, improve nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture. This is the priority of the World Food Programme. What is the current status of zero hunger in the world? Current status estimates are that nearly 690 million people are hungry, or 8.9% of the world population. The majority of the world's undernourished 381 million are still found in Asia. Now, what is the current status of zero hunger in India? India, however, still accounts for 23.8% of the global burden of malnutrition and has second highest estimated number of undernourished people in the world after China, according to FAO, means Food and Agriculture Organization. In 2015, all WHO members, including India, adopted the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which include achieving zero hunger or zero undernourished population by 2030. India Spends analysis shows, what is India Spends? India Spends is the country's first data journalism initiative. And that India Spends analysis shows that to achieve zero hunger by 2030, India will have to lift 48,370 people out of hunger every day. India's reduction in undernourished population from 2015 to 2017 was 3.9 million, which is about 10,685 people per day, less than 1/4, needed to meet the target by 2030. Even as its highest reduction of undernourished population, 15.2 million in 2016 to 2018, India could lift only 41,644 people per day out of hunger. Conflict, climate change, widespread of COVID-19, and economic slowdown were the main causes for the increasing global trend of undernourishment, said the FAO, means Food and Agriculture Organization. What steps are being implemented by the government to reduce hunger? With a 5-fold increase in food grain production from 50 million tons in 1950-51 to about 250 million tons in 2014-15, India has moved away from dependence on food aid to become a net food exporter. In 2016, the government launched a number of programs to double farmers' income by 2022. These seek to remove bottlenecks for greater agricultural productivity, especially in rain-fed areas. They include the National Food Security Mission, Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, the integrated schemes on oil seeds, pulses, palm oil and maize, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, the e-marketplace, as well as a massive irrigation and soil and water harvesting programs to increase the country's gross irrigated area from 90 million hectares to 103 million hectares by 2017. The government has also taken significant steps to combat hunger and malnutrition over the past 2 decades, such as through the introduction of midday meals at schools, Anganwadi systems to provide rations to pregnant and lactating mothers, and subsidized grain for those living below the poverty line. Subsidies. What are the steps taken by the government to ensure food security in India? In the mid-1970s, the government of India launched 3 important food intervention programs for food security. They include public distribution system, integrated child development services, and food for work. Local, national, and international organizations working towards zero hunger. UN assists government efforts to increase the efficiency and effectiveness of the safety nets under the NFSA, that is National Food Security Act, and work towards increasing farm incomes for small and marginal farming households. The group provides support the strengthening of agriculture and livelihood dimensions of anti-poverty programs, particularly the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, that is, we called it MNREGA, and the National Rural Livelihoods Mission. Improving child nutrition through rice fortification. The World Food Program in India, in partnership with the government of Odisha, is implementing a 2-year project in Gajapati district to improve nutrition through rice fortification in nearly 1,500 schools through the midday meal scheme. Raigarh's journey in food distribution reform. The World Food Project's pilot of Raigarh, Odisha, reached a population of over 1 million people through nearly 400 fair price shops and provided a learning opportunity for the formulation of an efficient, targeted public distribution system. Now the Shiv Sena-led Maharashtra government launched its much awaited Shiva Bhojan scheme, which is aimed at providing a meal to the poor for just 10 rupees. The midday meal scheme is a school meal program in India designed to better the nutritional standing of school-age children nationwide. The program supplies free lunches on working days for children in primary and upper primary classes in government-aided, local body, education guarantee scheme, and alternate innovations, education centers, madrasa, and maktabas supported under Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan and National Child Labor Project schools run by the Ministry of Labor, serving 12 crore children in over 12,65,000 schools and education guarantee scheme centers. It is the largest of its kind in the world. Now, these NGOs have made a difference in lives of thousands by giving them good food, good meal. Those are Akshay Patra, Feeding India, Fight Hunger Foundation, No Hungry Child, Embracing the World, Glow Tide, and Skip a Meal. These are the NGOs. Now we are going to see one by one. Akshay Patra is the world's largest non-profit midday meal project. In fact, it began a school lunch program even before the government of India made it compulsory for all primary schools to provide midday meals. Started in 2000 in Karnataka, it now serves more than 1.6 million students in public and government-aided schools across 11 states. In partnership with the central and state governments and with funding from private donors, Akshay Patra's mission is to ensure that children are not kept from education because of hunger and aims to feed 5 million children by 2020. The next NGO working for Zero Hunger is Feeding India. Feeding India's volunteers, or hunger heroes as they are called, have been working to provide food to the hungry for 2 years now. They collect leftover food from parties, weddings, or other events and distribute it in shelter homes. The organization has a helpline and an app through which donors can notify them about the food they wish to contribute. Volunteers then go to the donors, check the food, and transport it to the destination. Additionally, they have also partnered with catering companies, which inform them about functions in advance in order to have a regular supply of food. Feeding India operates in 32 cities today with more than 2,000 volunteers. The next NGO, Fight Hunger Foundation. Fight Hunger Foundation works to prevent severe malnutrition among underprivileged children in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Mumbai. Launched in 2012, Professor M.S. Swaminathan serves as the chairman of the foundation, which has partnerships with the Ministry of Health and Family Affairs, Department of Women and Child Development, and other public and private organizations. Members of the foundation start with identifying chronically undernourished children and then collaborate with the community and local healthcare providers to ensure inpatient and outpatient care. They hold awareness campaigns on nutrition and hygiene, as well as train medical personnel in local hospitals to treat malnutrition and follow up on patients. The next NGO is No Hungry Child. No Hungry Child is the name of the project started by former corporate sector employee V. Sridhar, who wanted to provide nutritious meals to children in the country. At the core of No Hunger Child's objectives are rural development, spreading awareness, and involving communities for their own betterment. But what is interesting about the initiative is that not only do they distribute meals, they also provide funding to other registered NGOs to cook and serve free food to the poor. They began with 250 children in 2009 and today cover over 20,000 children in 19 cities. The next NGO, Embracing the World. Embracing the World is a global initiative that works towards reducing poverty. According to them, they try to provide 5 basic needs: food, shelter, healthcare, education, and livelihood, whenever and wherever possible. The initiative has fed 10 million people every year in India through the ashrams and regional centers of the founder, Mata Amritanandamayi Devi. They even distribute rice, milk, and uncooked food to tribal communities in remote areas. People in need are welcomed at the ashrams and provided with hot meals. Another NGO working for Zero Hunger, Glow Tide, founded by a final year engineering student, Mustafa Hashmi, in Hyderabad. Glow Tide has been providing meals to homeless people in the city for 3 years now. The organization collects uneaten food from hotels, corporate canteens, and banquet halls and package it to distribute among the hungry. With a mission to spread as much happiness as they can, Glow Tide feeds more than 400 people every day and has saved 800 tons of food so far. The next NGO is Skip a Meal. Skip a Meal is a student-driven initiative where volunteers forgo 1 meal each week and give them to people in need. It was started by Arpan Roy when he was a student at Tata Institute of Social Sciences in Tulzapur, Maharashtra. He and some of his classmates started skipping meals in 2012 to provide for the children at a nearby orphanage. Today, 2 more colleges in New Delhi and Chennai have joined the initiative, and together they managed to feed 1,300 people each week. That's all from my side. Thanks.
Ma'am,
Now, whom shall I make the host?
ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, sir. Please.
I just want to know about midday meal. Is it functioning in your school?
Yeah, it is going on in my school.
In my school too.
Oh,
In each and every school, sir, from nursery to 8th standard, we every day serve midday meal.
is it
And
organized?
is from
Pandemic situation.
Is it
And sir, now
It
in
is a-
pandemic.
Is
Yes,
it-
sir.
no,
Please.
it is only in government aided schools.
Yeah, that's I want to know. Is it organized by private school or government school?
Government aided schools and the schools under Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan scheme. And sir, in this pandemic, we give them, we do not cook, but we give them rice, 3 kgs
And-
per month, then chana dal,
and
moong dal,
lentils.
everything. Their parents come to school, we give them certain time and day and date. They come at that time and our class teachers distribute them
Yes.
cooked
They,
food.
they come with the bags and we distribute them.
Here in primary school, government primary school, it is functioning fully. But in secondary school, which are not government, it's non-government schools. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
sir.
thank you. So today's topic is about zero hunger, and I will going to present about some local, national, and international organization which are working hunger in Bangladesh. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals are a set of objectives designed for all countries to fulfill in order to provide everyone with a more sustainable future. Members of the UN General Assembly enacted these 17 SDGs in 2015 to aim to reduce poverty, eradicate widespread hunger, as well as address other global challenges. Assuming all countries follow the plan's yearly agenda in a timely fashion, all developing countries are expected to enjoy a more prosperous life by 2030. Since 2015, Bangladesh is one of the main countries that have made remarkable improvements in reducing poverty. For instance, only 3 years after the implementation of the SDGs, the proportion of the population living below the international poverty line decreased by 8.3% since 2010. In a similar manner, the proportion of the population living below the domestic poverty line decreased by 9.9% from 2010 to 2018. While this considered an exceptional improvement, much of the Bengali population still suffers from widespread food insecurity. This has been especially apparent since August 2017, where more than 70,000 refugees fled Myanmar, Bangladesh's neighboring country to the west, due to the violence against the Rohingya population. With that being said, here are 5 updates on SDG Goal 2, achieving zero hunger in Bangladesh. The United Nations World Food Programme, which is WFP, is launching a new 4-year country strategic plan, CSP 2017 to 2020, designed to strengthen and support the government of Bangladesh in achieving the Sustainable Development Goal of zero hunger by 2030. WFP is the first United Nations agency to align its corporate strategy 2017-2021 with the SDGs The CSP operationalizes this strategy by outlining exactly how WFP will work with national governments to achieve the SDGs. The CSP Bangladesh is budgeted the USD 201.6 million and reflects an evolution in WFP's way of working from being a deliverer of food assistance to an enabler of government to achieve national hunger solutions. WFP will work to improve malnutrition, to ensure access to food, to support sustainable food systems, and to support emergency preparedness activities. WFP will be capitalizing on decades of operational experience in Bangladesh and around the world to support the government with technical assistance, operational know-how, and evidence to inform policies. A large proportion of WFP's activities will still be dedicated to the direct distribution of food or cash assistance, particularly to food insecure populations in Cox's Bazar and the Chittagong Hill Tracts. The Hunger Project has been active in Bangladesh since 1990 and is currently the country's largest volunteer-based organization. The Hunger Project's strategies in Bangladesh occur on two scales. One focuses on the local landscape and the other on the national level. Hello, can you hear me clearly?
Sir, but
Yes,
Kamal sir, mute yourself. Saili ma'am has muted herself. I'm also going to mute so that the voice.
Okay, thank you. The Hunger Project works with the Union, Bangladesh's smallest unit of rural government, through the Sustainable Development Goals Union Strategy. The SDG Union Strategy empowers both the local electorate and the elected Union Parishad or local council, which represents a cluster of villages, putting THP's three pillars within the reach of the Bangladeshi people. At the national level, the Hunger Project addresses two pernicious cultural conditions that form major barriers to ending hunger in Bangladesh: corruption and gender discrimination. This is done through the National Girl Child Advocacy Forum (NGCAF) and Sujon, Citizens for Good Governance, a countrywide advocacy movement for preventing corruption. Purposeful collaboration across sectors in only sustainable way to reach every last person and put an end to hunger and poverty. We can't operate in silos. You can see here the other partner who is working with uh, the Hunger Project. They are European Union, City, Democracy International, Dutch National Postcode Lottery, Dutch Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Development Cooperation for Impact, GIS, Hilton Foundation, Interaction, the American Council for Voluntary International Action, LDS Charities, Thomas and Dorothy Levy Foundation, United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, Water for Humans. These are the organizations which are working with the Hunger Project. And some of the local NGOs are working about zero hunger. So this is from me. Thank you so much, everyone. Vidya ma'am, unmute yourself, please.
Sorry. Do you want to say anything, ma'am? Shall I stop recording?
Yes,
Vidya ma'am.
yes.
Vidya ma'am. Vidya ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
I think I missed a record before this session. Even in middle, I was forget to record. Did you record it?
Yeah, I have recorded it.
I think if you record the full session, uh,
Yes,
you have to share the link because I missed the
yes.
recording.
Okay, I will share the link.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Now, what about next session? Shall we conduct on Sunday?
Kamal sir,
Today is Thursday. Friday and Saturday we will conduct on Sunday even Sunday night.
Yes,
okay?
sir.
we can, ma'am.
Because we need time to prepare, sir. We have lot of work at home also, and we have to prepare. We will take 2 days gap in every session. Okay. After every session, we will take 2 days gap.
It will be
It's
good,
okay?
madam. It will be good because we have other session also, and that's why we are not well.
And it becomes very hectic.
Yes, ma'am.
So we will take 2 days gap.
It will be.
What about Saili, ma'am? It's okay, ma'am.
I think we are faster than any other groups of telecollaboration.
Saili, ma'am, unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yes,
Okay.
what's your opinion, ma'am?
I think it's better to conduct on Sunday at 9 p.m. Because 2 days are okay. But we have to rush one after another responsibility. So,
Okay.
It will be
Sir told
better.
us that we have to finish up till 15th of June, but we will take 1 more week.
Yes, ma'am.
In this way, after
Yeah.
2 days, if we are going to
We
conduct
will
the
finish
15th
on
session,
22nd June.
22nd of June, and that will be okay. They said, Sononi sir said that will be okay.
Okay. Then on Sunday, 9 p.m. and 9:30 Bangladesh time. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
What about the
Okay, ma'am.
topics? Second
What
session's
is the
topic,
topic?
you both will divide among yourselves.
This
Zoha,
is
sir.
Sure, ma'am.
Yes.
We'll divide.
Yes, fifth session, second section.
Okay.
You both decide. And Saili ma'am and I will decide. Saili ma'am will take objectives. Okay, ma'am. And targets. Okay. It's okay.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Yes. No problem.
Okay, and I will take
No.
the second section.
Okay. Or alternatives, as today I have conducted indicators and parameters. You can means we can
Yes.
change the responsibility.
Okay.
Means you can conduct 1 minute. Let me see. Let me see first the topic.
Ma'am, have
of-
you stopped the recording?
Yes, sir.
Yes, she has stopped.